How difficult is the task that you and Dave King and Sean and Willie Desjardins face in putting together this team?
Oh well, it's like anything, Yesterday was, was the announcement, and now we go to work today, and then going forward here, it's definitely different. I think you pointed it out earlier. Before it was an easy conversation, trying to get the guys to come and everything, but now, we're dealt with these cards that we're going to have a lot of players that are playing in Europe, already for a few years, and some newer guys that are just signed in Europe that will be considered. But the hard work is like we're got to try to find the best team possible.
Mm-hmm.
The easy part is we have 7 months to do it. We have 5 big tournaments in Europe to put teams together to kind of see where we're at, move on from there, and adjust ourselves, not just personnel-wise, but maybe system-wise with the players we have. And we're going to build a hockey team. That's the bottom line. This is the cards that we're dealt with, and we're really excited about the challenge. It's going to give a great opportunity for some guys that never thought they were going to play in the Olympics to have a crack at a medal, and that's something that will be fun to be part of.
One of the things that really intrigues me about this, Martin, and this coming up through the ranks and being part of Canadian teams, when you put together a team for a tournament, I think there's a certain amount of chemistry that has to happen on the fly almost. It's not the same as playing with, your regular NHL team. You've had guys who've been part of the Hockey Canada program, part of the Canadian Olympic program. I mean, if you bring Sidney Crosby and Jonathan Toews into a dressing room, what you're getting, you know that. Here you may not have as good a read on the individuals. How do you go about managing that part of putting together a team?
Well, I think we have a lot of guys with experience on the management side of it that seen these players play in Europe. We got Woody as an assistant coach that he's coaching in Geneva this year. We got Dave King that's knows KHL a lot. So we do have a little bit of a pulse. Sean was at the Dutchland Cup last year. He was at the Spangler Cup. And so you got to know some of these guys. So I think we have a pretty good idea of what we're looking for and what to expect from certain players. But we want to get surprised. We want to have guys that we didn't think about that's gonna pop up in our lap and maybe put them in the lineup. So we're really open-minded about any kind of situation, any kind of character. We want to build a team. I think we have solid people around to make this transition from their own team in Europe to playing for Canada in the Olympics. And like I said, the beauty of this, like playing those 5 tournaments starting in the next 10 days, there we have 2 tournaments in Russia. We got 1 in Finland in November, a big one early in December, the Channel 1 Cup. I think it's in Moscow. Mm-hmm. And definitely the Spangler Cup will be a little different because of being in Switzerland. But we'll have plenty of chance to evaluate and have a feel for what we have when the tournament is going to start in February.
Marty, you've worn that sweater. When you put that sweater on, when you put that maple leaf on, it really doesn't matter, does it? Whether you're AHL, NHL, KHL, U Sports, whatever. When you put that sweater on, you're kind of part of a fraternity, aren't you?
Yeah, I was fortunate. I played 8 times for my country, and the only thing I didn't like was when I had to go to the World Championships. It means that I was out of the playoffs. So that's the ones I don't like. But the other ones, it was always something. Every time you get the call, and that's one of the reasons why I embraced this opportunity, because Hockey Canada and Team Canada throughout my career, they were so good to me. So for me to give back and try to get back to a high level and in a kind of a difficult situation, not a difficult one, but a different one. I'm really excited about it.
How do you think Canadians will react to having an Olympic hockey team that doesn't have NHL players? Because Damien Cox and I I think share the same point of view here in some ways, in that I think Canadians are going to love the story. It's not going to be Sid. It's not going to be John. It's not going to be Connor McDavid. We get all that. But I think Canadians are going to love the story of kind of a group of guys coming together, a group of guys who may have been off the radar of NHL fans coming together and forming a team. And if they have success, I think people in this country are really going to embrace the team.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I think we're a hockey country. You know, people wants to see Canada do well, and I think it's a big opportunity for for these guys to embrace the situation and put themselves on the radar. You know, these guys will be probably from an age bracket of 23, 24 years old to about 35, 36 years old. Some of them are looking for contracts. Some of them like to spruce up their career and get back in the NHL. And what a better place to go out on a major stage like that to do so. So it's a great opportunity, and I think the fans will love. We'll put a good team together that's going to be competitive. But at the end of the day, you know, every country's back in it now. Before, you know, the Sweden, the Finland, you know, Canada, U.S. But now, you know, I think countries like Germany and Switzerland and Czech Republic will be, you know, they believe that they have a chance to win because the pros are not there. The NHL players are not there. For sure, Russia is going to be a good team. Sweden, a lot of their top players are playing in the NHL, so they're going to be in the same boat as us. You know, and all these countries are similar to that. So if you look at the teams in the KHL, all the imports Canadian players are the best players on their team.
Right.
So, and that's the guys we're drawing. So we should be okay. You know, it's just a matter of putting it, you know, the right mix together. It's a short tournament. Anything could happen. But again, it puts every country at a more of a level playing field. So that's why I think this tournament is going to be fun.
I know that Sean was asked this question yesterday about the possibility of junior players joining the team, and I think he said that right now there isn't that junior player that would necessarily be able to push another player out or kind of give you an edge that one of the other players wouldn't give you. Will you guys keep an eye on the junior ranks, or is that really going to be a reach? And is that, I guess, Marty, at the end of the day, ultimately, would it be a waste of time to maybe pay too much attention to that as opposed to paying attention to the European leagues?
Well, you know, I think training camp is going to be after the NHL training camps. I think that's where we're going to make a decision what directions we're going to go, especially for some of the junior players.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't foresee any big surprises there. But again, like I said, we're wide open. You know, we want to make sure we pick the right team, the right players to give us a chance to be successful at the Olympic Games. So if that means to take a younger guy that we feel that's going to help our team, we'll do it. You know, I don't think there's no restrictions as far as, you know, within the rules who we can pick. And you know, like I said, if that junior kid's good enough, well, he's going to have a crack at it. But again, right now, our efforts are not there because there's too much of the unknown. But after training camps, I think we're going to see where some of the older NHL players that decides to, you know, go to Europe to play the year, what's going to be available to us in the American Hockey League. And, you know, the September and October month is going to be a big month for Hockey Canada as far as scouting and try to recruit some of the players to try to get them on our team.